Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we'll be doing the soul searching lineup that John here has recommended us to do after the Valentine's Day lineup.
Yeah. Look, we get it. Some of us tend to go on this journey alone, and I don't blame you. And so are we. So, to make us feel a little bit better on a month where we kind of celebrate being with somebody, we're here with you to give you a little bit of, to tell you that it's alright to be alone, but it ain't okay to be lonely. So, stick around and you'll see a couple of recommendations that me and Enza put up just so you could, fill in your time when Valentine's Day, rolls around.
Yeah, and we begin our journey with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which stars Ben Stiller, is directed by Ben Stiller, and also stars Sean Gunn and Kristen Wiig and Adam Scott. And it's
Yeah.
a 2013 movie. I would say is highly underrated since not a lot of people talk about it. So, how did you come about this movie?
Um, I came on it like pretty late, maybe 2015. I heard a couple of friends talking about it. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. They even told me the whole like story about it. They even spoiled me on a couple of things. I was like, oh, that's cool. Then, like around 2017, 18, that's when I fully watched this movie. Like, I would see it on HBO and Star Movies, but I would never watch it from the start. So I would always watch them like skateboarding down Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would see those scenes, but I'd never know what happened in the start. And then I just gave it a full go. Because, surprisingly, like around that time-ish, maybe, I heard of Monsters Inc. I don't know if you know that band.
Hmm.
And they were featured in this movie. I was like, I really gotta give this a try. Because Ben Stiller, I don't know if he's the one who picked the soundtrack for this movie, but man, he has a good taste in music.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I also saw this in Star Movies around 2014, and I was just so glued to the screen. I was like, this is pretty good. I don't know why
Hmm.
a lot of people are not talking about this. Because I do like the themes of this movie. It's just that I guess it got buried with a lot of other stuff that came out at the same time.
Ooh, ooh. Came out 2013, right?
Yeah.
2013. What was out that time? Like, what came out that probably overshadowed Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
I'm not sure.
Kind of thing. Yeah, right. Like, but I just wonder a lot of big movies that came out in 2013 that probably, you know, push this movie aside because
Yeah.
it is a somewhat indie film, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we start with Walter Mitty trying to set up his, I guess, dating profile at some app. He's getting help by Patton Oswald.
Yeah. Sounds familiar, huh, buddy?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there. But yeah, no. But yeah, he's not an exciting guy. He has even his dating profile kind of reflects his personality in reality. Uh, and he's a what's his job again? Something negative supervisor.
Yeah. Negative feedback supervisor or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's feedback, but anyway, he handles negatives, photos, and he works at like was it Time Magazine?
Life
Oh no,
magazine.
Life.
Yeah.
Life Magazine. Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he works there and he handles like the covers of the the magazines, and again, not that exciting. He even has this whole thing where he zones out a lot. He
Mhm.
daydreams, things that could have been, and uh, I mean, for people with ADHD and ADD, we do that a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a little bit relatable.
And trouble starts because Sean O'Connell is the character who sends a packet of his last few pictures, but one of them is missing. The last
Hmm.
cover of Life magazine.
Yeah, like number 25, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the whole point of why this photo is important. Well, any photo that has to be a cover of a very popular magazine is very important. But this is the last magazine, oh sorry, like physical magazine before they go to like online.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be an online service kind of company. So this is a pretty big deal because this is like the end of an era, kind of picture.
Yeah.
How would I say? Yeah.
And like he's under pressure to find the last photo. At the same time, he gets help from Kristen Wiig's character.
Yeah. Where she would pretty much tell him like go on this investigation just to find this photo. We also meet his like shitty boss.
Yeah, played by Adam Scott. And I forget where else he's from, but he's always like the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah. All I remember is he was in like this one horrible piranha movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Ben Stiller's character Walter Mitty also has feelings for Kristen Wiig's character.
Yeah. And he relates with his son because he used to be a skateboarder and everything. Again, I do like how this is set up. The beginning of the movie, he's pretty much. We're just seeing his boring life, and then the only exciting parts that we see is just him daydreaming.
Yeah.
And I love seeing those sequences. It's a little bit jarring, I will admit, but it's fun to see.
Yeah.
And like this is the calm before the storm, like before he goes off on this amazing journey that you would never think of doing, right? Like just doing it willy nilly, and it was like, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, he's under pressure from Adam Scott to find the last picture, and Sean Gunn does leave him clues to find him, and he gets help from Kristen Wiig's character to find where the first clue is, which is in Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland. Just by marking it on the ship.
Yeah. And that's where he sets off his first adventure to go to Iceland, and it's nice seeing all these unique places that don't really get the lights on them. You know, you don't really see movies with Iceland or Greenland have the spotlight shine on them.
Yeah. And the soundtrack's very appropriate too. Since, yes, Of Monsters and Men, I think they're an Icelandic folk indie band. It was like, Ben Stiller incorporated their music. There's also another band that I have in my playlist that plays all throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
We'll pop their like album right here. I'll send you the photo later, and so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, amazing soundtrack and amazing places. Like, if you guys played Death Stranding, this is what it feels like. Like exactly how it feels like.
Yeah.
Like mountain ranges at the side. You have a little bar or a little place that you could like stay safe in. So again, I love the atmosphere that Ben Stiller was making out throughout this movie, and it's pretty much a self-search movie, I would say.
Yeah. And in the bar in Iceland, that's where he finds the pilot, who's this big man, and he almost gets into a fight with him, but he stops the fight because the thumb's the same one in the photo reel.
Yeah. Fight! The man was about to get murdered. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, he's about to get crushed by his big hands. You're like, poor guy.
No, he broke a bottle and had like a
yeah, it's about to ship him
glass
to
part in his face. Yeah. But like his only opportunity now is like, oh yeah, I know where Sean is.
Yeah.
But you have to join me on my helicopter, and that's how we get to the boat in the middle of the sea. But he's drunk.
Yeah.
Fucking pissed drunk. And again, it's somewhat relatable,
Yeah.
Like the scenes of like him seeing Kristen Wiig's character singing Rocket Man.
Rocket Man?
Was it Rocket Man?
No.
Which one was it?
Ground Control to Major Tom.
Oh fuck. Damn it. Both space songs. Two different British guys.
Sure.
But yeah, like again, it's that thought process of just like should I take that chance? When you're very hesitant, like at the beginning, he does not want to go on the fucking plane, or sorry, helicopter.
Yeah.
Then you just get that. It's like, but what if though? If you don't take it, what if?
Yeah.
And he does that. He tosses his like luggage in there, and then he just jumps into this drunk guy's helicopter. I was like, I can't. I don't know. This movie really does speak to me a lot. I don't know. How about you, man?
Yeah, I do like how it's about taking chances when they're right there, and when else are you going to take them? If not now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Exactly.
What are the odds though that you jump into the ocean? There's a great white shark on your tail.
It's a narc. It's not a narc.
No, it's like it's a porpoise. It's like really, and it just takes a swipe at it. Says like that's not a porpoise.
The Icelandic guy was just like, oh shit. No, but I love that scene though. He was like, you have to jump on the boat. You have to jump on the boat. I was like, what? Okay, I'm jumping on the boat. And he does.
Yeah.
He jumps on the wrong side because there's like a little like dinghy that's supposed to catch him.
Yeah, it's like
Which
the
is so
wrong
fucking
side.
funny.
Oh well. What
Oh,
about say?
not that boat. I can't blame him. He was drunk that time.
Yeah, but he can't contact Sean now because the radio part sank with him. So it's like, oops. But he does get the clue from the tableware, because that's where Sean put his next coordinates, which is in Greenland.
Yeah. Although he didn't really put his coordinates there. He gave one dude like a cake, and he just wrapped it around his like itinerary. I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess it's somewhat of like a detective work, or just fake.
Yeah. And like this is Iceland he goes to because it's green. And
Yeah, Greenland has like ice. Iceland's kind of green.
Yeah.
Like geographers had a sense of humor at that time.
Yeah. And then that's when he gets there and he gets on the longboards, and you get the scene of him just skating down this volcanic slope.
I will say though, I don't think Stretch Armstrong's a good trade for a longboard. Longboards are expensive.
Yeah.
Trust me. Like I'm looking into buying one, and I'm like, nah, that shit's too expensive. Like 9K, 10K, which is like $200 in US money.
Yeah. But it is a cool scene of him just skating down this road, and then the hotel guy, trying to catch up to him because he's like, "There's an erection, an erection,
An erection.
eruption."
Like I love it. He had a hard time saying it.
Yeah,
But I love it that the guy he meets first is like warning him, like, "Don't go. The volcano's gonna explode." And he doesn't understand a single word he was saying. The dude just goes.
yeah,
You know, Walter just goes. And when he's found out that it was a little too late and the volcano started to blow up, luckily the guy was kind enough to come back for him.
yeah,
I was like, no other person would have done. I would have not done that. I would have ran from this fucking. I don't want Pompeii Part 2, and I don't want to be part of it either.
yeah. And he also sees Sean, the madman that he is going into the volcano to take pictures. Like, he's one brave soul.
I know, dude was pretty much Anthony Bourdain of like photography.
Yeah,
Like, God, just imagine that kind of life. The man's never like in one place.
yeah,
And like, I guess you see the parallels between Sean and Walter. Completely night and day kind of people. Sean willing to take the risk and willing to go to these dangerous places, while Walter wants to stay safe. He's in his own like base with like the whole negative office.
yeah,
And Sean's like trying to push him a little bit, like with the message that he had on like the wallet. But yeah, and like both these characters sure completely different night and day, but they complete each other.
yeah.
You know, like yes, the photos gives Walter a job, but Walter gives the light that these photos deserve. You know, like without Walter, this dude's the things that he captures would never be open to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the relationship. The how do you say it? Uncommunicated relationship that they have.
Yeah.
That's how I would put their like situation. Like, it feels like they've known each other for a while, when clearly they've never met each other before.
Yeah.
It's only like through letters or through when Sean sends him like the photos.
And like, I love how Patton also keeps reaching out to him and he updates his life thing. He's like, oh, I went through a volcano.
Yeah, I went through a volcano, and it's like, where are you now? I'm like, oh, he's in like Iceland. I jumped off a boat, fought a shark.
By the way, this girl you're interested in isn't active, and she left. And he's like, oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Like, yeah, and I was like, oh, why? What happened? But he's getting like a lot of as they call it, winks.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's like the swipe right
Yeah.
for this dating app.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, wait, where are we?
We're in the middle of the movie where he loses the trail of Sean and he goes back to
Oh
Life
yeah, he goes back to
magazine.
New York.
And he's let go because he doesn't have the photo yet. Adam Scott, being the douchebag he is, just lets everybody go as they move on to being online permanently. And
Yeah,
that's when he tries to reconnect with Kristen Wiig's character, and you think she has her husband. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, I think. Oh, what was his name again? Like William or something?
Yeah.
Or Phil? That sounds just a stranger. Anyway, the guy's name's like Phil,
Yeah, yeah.
and the dude goes, "Oh, honey, there's a guy here for you, and he works with you." And I was like, I think this guy was just playing a power move and like trying to make sure his ex-wife doesn't
Yeah.
date anybody else. But yeah, the reason why he's there is because the longboard that he got in Iceland he's pretty much giving it to her son because the son likes to skateboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty much in a rut.
Yeah.
And he's like back at his mom's place, and he pretty much dumps like the wallet that Sean gave him.
Yeah, but he notices one of the photos is the piano his mom loves that his dad gave him to him, and you feel like life kind of stopped after his dad died because he just went into working for a living, but not really living.
Yeah. When you see old photos of him, he had like a mohawk.
Yeah.
He would go into like skateboard tournaments. I was like, the guy was pretty much living until his dad died.
Yeah. Also forgot that Catherine Hahn is in this as his sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just surprised. I'm like, right, she was here before Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. She was in a lot of things before Scarlet Witch, but
Yeah.
we didn't really notice her until then.
Yeah. And then his mom tells him that Sean is with the warlords of Afghanistan, climbing the mountains, and that's why he came for her cake because they let him pass.
Yeah. And oh yeah, that was the thing. He was like, wait, he was there?
Yeah.
Like at that moment, and then why was he asking for his like a work schedule and shit? I was like, wait a minute, what? But anyway, yeah. So he goes off on a journey trying to get to, where was it?
Afghanistan.
I guess one of the mountains in like Mount Everest or something to take a picture of like the ghost cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does find Sean eventually on the verge of giving up because he is all alone on the mountain, about to not be living anymore because he's so high up. He's like, fuck, it's so hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love how when he's like talking to Patton Oswalt, he's like, "Hey, I can't really talk much because I kind of have to like ration my oxygen." I'm like,
also,
oh,
can
so
you
it's like that?
delete my profile because I won't be needing it anymore. It's like, okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but ever since he like got like 300 wings.
Yeah.
Oh, sana all. But like, yeah.
And then he just stumble upon Sean. He's like, "Where's the last picture?" And he's like, "Oh, I gave it to you. It's in the wallet. I told you to look inside." He's like, "Oh, I threw it." He's like, "Ouch." Okay.
No, but I love their initial meet.
Yeah.
Like we finally get to see Sean, and that happens to Walter. to progress him within the plot is very Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
It's like it's the epitome of Deus Ex Machina. And I was like, wow, really? Like, there's an answer for everything. Walter would like work hard for it, hit a dead end, and then he just immediately like something like comes in his way.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like fate pushing him towards the end of this journey, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
Especially when he meets Sean, where he just like, hey buddy, can you like not be there? I'm trying to take a picture here. I'm like, you're the guy we've been looking for this entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that shit, and then especially you can't dismiss the fact that like every time he goes to a new place, the scenery is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like the shots are fucking great. I don't know if Ben Stiller really went to those places, but like, I don't know, it was shot amazing. Like, it's pretty to look at.
Yeah, I know the leopard is 100% CGI.
CG.
Yeah.
For sure, they couldn't get the actual leopard.
Yeah, yeah. Also to not disturb it from its natural habitat. I know that good causes, but yeah, I like how Sean's like, you know what? Sometimes I like to just be in this moment and not shoot anything with a picture.
Yeah, where he just wants to be in that moment.
Yeah.
At some points, you don't even take the shot if you really like the shot.
Yeah.
And there was a quote that he said that like, I think it was like, beautiful things don't ask for attention.
Yeah.
And that really stuck to me. I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
That's like one of the best things are hidden in life. I was like, that's a pretty good quote to stick back.
Yeah. And then they play soccer with some of the villagers, and then Walter Mitty goes back home to some trouble because LA, they find like mysterious things like, what's with the flute? And he tries explaining, but like this big woman just throws him to the ground. We're like, damn.
He kicks him in the nuts and shit. Yeah.
Gets rescued by Patton Oswalt's character.
Yeah. Because like he had to know somebody who's in LA, and Patton Oswalt is the type of guy to be like in Silicon Valley, doing a whole startup company thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess knowing the time that this was filmed, that somebody coming from Afghanistan to the LA is kind of sketch.
Yeah, especially since no one's allowed to go there.
Yeah, and I was like, how'd you get there? I was like, oh, I took a flight to another place and took a bus.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're like, not suspicious at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he and Patton also bond over Cinnabon, and he's like, I totally expected you to look different, but here you are now, sitting in front of me. Funny how that works.
You are the mixture of Indiana Jones and the lead singer of The Strokes. And I was like, I had to look up what the lead singer of Strokes looked like. The Strokes are really good. I like listening to them. I just never knew what they looked like.
And then he goes back to his work, and he's more confident than ever, and he tells Adam Scott, like, this company's made out of hundreds of people who dedicated their life to this magazine, and you shouldn't treat them like trash. I know it's your job to help with the transition, but you don't have to be such a dick about it. And leaves him the last photo.
Yeah, no, we also missed, like, when he said he threw it out to Sean, he was like, ouch. You could tell that in his eyes, he was like, well, that's it. We'll never get to see what that amazing photo is. And Sean's like, again, sticking to words. Beautiful things don't need attention, and he just kind of, like, you'll never know them. He won't even say it to, like, Walter what the photo was.
Yeah, and his mom does save the wallet. That's why he's able to give it to Adam Scott.
Yeah, so again, it's a very Deus Ex Machina thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, how would I explain this movie? It's very much on rail, like this movie's on rails, like the entire movie. But you could kind of like enjoy it the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole like message between when it came to this movie. Uh, like he no matter what he does, he'll end up in the same destination,
Yeah.
which is like a horrible thing depending on the context. But it's just like, oh, let the faith take the wheel kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like it. I really do. But yeah, he gives a photo. Sure, he had the photo. He never looked at it.
Yeah.
He said goodbye to his coworker, and he walks out and finally asks Christian Wig for on a date. And as they're walking out, that was a day where the magazine was published, the last ever magazine before they transitioned to the internet. And they see it's actually Walter who's on the photo.
Yeah. It's dedicated to the hundreds of people of Life magazine who made it possible.
And so, in the wise words of Robin Williams, "Son of a bitch stole my line."
But yeah, that's where the movie ends, and I do like this movie. It's straightforward, it's deep at moments, and it's like it fills a void that you're like, I need some movie that isn't too bleak, isn't too brain dead. It strikes a good balance between like, oh, I don't need to think about it that much, but if I do, I'll learn something about myself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's a good enough it's a good enough movie to be like, oh, I could turn it on and turn my brain off and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's also a good enough movie to like, if you want to know what the meaning of life is to this person's perspective, you can enjoy it like that as well. And I'm like, that's why I love this movie. This movie is very flexible when it's with its demographic, and that's why I feel like our viewers would enjoy this movie as well if they gave it a chance.
Yeah.
And like, if you love if you love how indie was back in early 2010s, you'll love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's safe to go to our ratings now.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
I think that's how the system goes. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this one a solid 8. Not a solid, an 8.5 out of 10. It is a fun watch. Is it the best movie in the world? No. But is it a good movie? Hell yes. It again, as Enzo said, it does fill a void. And if you're upset that, hey, I'm alone on Valentine's Day, watch this movie. This guy spends this entire movie alone, like self-searching his own self, and finding this one guy and learning lessons along the way. It is the definition of it's the journey, not the destination. Yeah, and Ben Stiller, amazing director, amazing actor, and I love his soundtrack. Ben Stiller is like an avid fan of like these kind of genre, like very folk indie music, and I really do like that, and I would love to see him make more films like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know any at the top of my head, but if anybody has any recommendations that Ben Stiller has redirected, let us know down in the comments below. But yeah, it's a 8.5 out of 10. Yeah,
okay. I'll also give this an 8. I do like the story and the journey, and the character of Walter Mitty is a very it's easy to latch onto him because you see his arc throughout the movie of him not being sure of himself, and then by the end he's a totally different man. That's the definition of an arc. See a character go from one place to another in terms of growth for his character. But yeah, as you said, also it's an amazing soundtrack, and to this day I still listen to it because it is that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty? That's been our video on it. Please comment down below what other Ben Stiller more serious roles we should talk about, or even the comedic roles we should talk about. If you want to find us, we are at Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok. Also don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to see more of us on this platform. But yeah, Under the same name, we're on Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And Facebook to see us stream games and about our lives from time to time. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus9995 on Twitter.
Right.
Yes.
We'll get there one day. We'll get there.
Yes.
But yeah, you can find me at JomGOM on Instagram. It is my GOM _ on Instagram. It is my art account.
Yeah, and until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.